Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to another in our series of double shot interviews where we bring in a chief executive or a minister to talk about the stuff we're passionate about, and there's nothing we're more passionate about on interest.co.nz than property prices. And today we've got Peter Thompson back with us. He's the managing director of Barfoots and Thompson, the biggest real estate agency chain in the country and obviously the dominant player in Auckland, which is the biggest market. You've come out with numbers on volumes and prices in the Auckland market in April. What are they saying?
What we're seeing, Bernard, is certainly a reduction in the average sale price from that of March. March was approximately 581,000 average, where we saw it this month drop down to 574. And that wasn't unexpected. I think it's fair to say, and I think we quoted it at the time of March, that we were very surprised with the high increase in March. But we still see the seasonal patterns coming through real estate on a 12-month pattern.
The underlying picture, though, of demand and prices and activity, how would you describe it, given the usual seasonal variations?
Yeah, I suppose when we look month to month on 2011 versus 2010, both the sales volume and the sales average price is both up. Both columns are up. What we've seen in in April, has been an unexpectedly drop in the number of new listings, and we're quite astonished with why that's happened, because the market is very good. There's plenty of buyers out there in the market. It possibly is associated with Easter at the end of April, but I'm not saying that's the only reason, but it's about the only thing we can think of, because there are a lot of good buyers out there that are meeting the market, and there's a lot of good property where vendors are selling. So,
because you'd think with the increase in activity in Auckland in March, people would have seen that and thought now is maybe the time to sell.
yes, it is, and that's why we do look at it at the Easter scenario, because when you're doing a 3 or 4 week promotion for, say, an auction, which we're finding is the greatest success rate at the moment, especially with vendors and purchasers unsure about pricing, that they're letting them testing the market by the way of auction. You do have a 3 or 4 week campaign, and when you look at Easter at the end of April, 3 or 4 weeks, it does sort of cut into that time. So we're hoping that is the reason, but as I say, there are some good buyers out on the market at the moment.
Let's break it down inside the Auckland region, because there's variations from the fringes to the centre.
Sure.
And also types of houses, bigger, more expensive ones, cheaper, smaller ones, rental properties versus established family homes. What are you seeing in the drill down picture in Auckland?
If we look at March, we saw a large number of properties, $1 million or even $2 million, that was higher than expected, and I think that's what pushed the average sale price up. This month, what we saw was not quite as many $2 million and $1 million. I think we sold 52 properties over $1 million. But where we saw the significant increase was from that 750,000 range to a 1 million range. And I think 33% of our properties were within that sort of price bracket. So that was a significant. And when you look at those prices, that's the inner cities like the Mount Edens, the Epsoms, more sought after areas.
And on the fringes and in South Auckland, what are you seeing there?
Well, again, we're seeing good activity. I think we've sort of got about 20% of our properties are under 300,000. So there is still a lot of property under that sort of 300, 350,000. But they do tend to be on the outer fringes, like the Manurewas, Papakuras, that are two areas that are selling very well at the moment.
And rental property demand?
Yes, again, that's continued. We haven't actually released our figures to the press. We're in the process of changing our computer systems for rentals, so we've taken a few extra days to get the figures, but pleased to see that the average rent has come back a little bit from the record high, I think, of $434 last year down to $421 this month. But when we compare it with same month last year, which was $381, it's still a big increase from 12 months ago.
And what do you think's happening at the moment? We're into May. What's your feeling about how we're shaping up through May and into June?
Traditionally, with May, we see it should be very similar to what we've experienced in April. So I'm not expecting to see the price to go up or down too much this month, but certainly the volume of sales are matching, certainly above those of the similar weeks last year.
Excellent. Well, there we have it. That's the picture for the Auckland market there from Peter Thompson, the Managing Director of Barfoots and Thompson. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was another in our series of double shot interviews for interest.co.nz.